Hey, what's going on, guys? It's MAXedOutKim here back to you guys with the first episode of this How to YouTube series. Now, each video is going to have a certain topic that's going to talk about what you need to do to start off on a YouTube channel, everything in between, how to grow steadily, and all that things, just to help you grow your YouTube channel the best that it possibly can be. I've been doing YouTube for years, and I've failed a lot of times, I've succeeded a lot of times, so I'm here to help you with some of the things that I failed on, and what not to do, and then what things that you should have done, that I should have done, that I'm going to tell you how to do now, while you're still young, starting off your YouTube channel. I'm going to try not to make these super long, and I'm just going to give you all the information you need, but they're going to be time cards down in the description down below, so if you feel like you don't really need to hear this one topic, you should go ahead and skip to another one. That's perfectly fine. You should do whatever you think you need for your YouTube channel. I'm going to make this noted that this isn't a guarantee you're going to be getting famous and that you're not going to struggle at all, because YouTube is unpredictable. This is going to be my best so that you don't have to struggle and you can get off into a really good start. But at the end of the day, it's all going to come down to you and your videos and how you're going to produce them. I can only give you so much to help you out. Then you have to take that and run with it and actually do something with it. So I'm not guaranteeing that if you do all of this, you're going to get famous or you're not going to have any struggle whatsoever. That's not the case. YouTube is always a struggle. So let's get started with this first video, which is just getting started overall. Again, there are time cards down in the description, but there are 5 super important tips that before you even make your first video, you need to take into consideration. The 5 things are picking a good channel name, picking a niche and what to do with that niche, having a specific email, having social media, and having good graphics. So let's start with picking a channel name. Your channel name literally means everything. It's your brand, what you want to represent. So many people overlook this because they think, I'll just change it later, which we'll get into in a little bit. But in fact, it's going to determine how people look at you, and there's a whole bunch of do's and don'ts I'm going to go over right now. So let's do the do nots. Do not add numbers or any weird symbols to your name. What symbols and numbers do, first of all, you don't need them. Second of all, they just look unprofessional. Back in YouTube, like 2012, people were kind of quirky with their names. They put like underscore underscore or like XX or like YT or like whatever in their name, or like 7236, thinking that it's cool. But in fact, it's actually going to probably slow down your growth. It's actually going to be harder for people to search you up because numbers and symbols aren't normal English words. Nobody's really typing numbers and symbols into the search bar. So what you want to do is not have any numbers and symbols so that you're more likely to pop up onto somebody's feed. It's also going to be harder to remember if your name, especially if it's like a basic name, it's just like Johnny Boy or something like that, and then you have like 356. It's harder to remember what numbers is Johnny Boy. Then when people look up, oh, let me try to find this YouTuber named Johnny Boy, you might have like 17,000 Johnny Boys that pop up. But if you have a specific brand in mind and you're like, oh no, but this is gonna work out really good because I have a whole thing, a whole brand I deal with it, then do it. You know, I'm not saying don't do it ever, but you don't do it if you're just gonna fill in empty space because you want to. Try to avoid being basic or having popular names. The reason for that is just going to be simple, harder to find you. If you have something super basic like Adam Rocks, that's going to be like, you know how many Adam Rocks are probably in YouTube right now? Probably so many. It's going to be harder to find you that way. Also, if you put a popular name or like some popular thing in your name, such as like Fortnite or Call of Duty or Valorant or like something really popular that a lot of people already search, you might think, oh, that's good, my thing will come up more. No, because it's so popular, you're actually doing the opposite. You're putting your name into a category, and you don't want to do that because you're not going to pop up as much in the search engine just because of the fact that you put a popular name, and there's going to be thousands and thousands and thousands of YouTubers who are more famous than you who already have that name in their video description or maybe even in their name that are more famous, and they're going to pop up first, and there's probably going to be a whole bunch of more people who pop up first before you. The next thing is try to avoid being super weird or quirky because it can become off as cringy, and again, it's also harder to find you if you have some weird combination of words and stuff. With that being said, it's not a bad thing to be kind of funny. A lot of people in the gaming community do like funny names, but try to avoid doing something like really weird, really cringy. And the last tip for the do not is try not to change your name. And no, it's really hard. Like if you had a YouTube account from like 3 years ago or whatever, and you're like, oh, but like it has like 100 subscribers on it, I want to keep doing it, but I hate the name. You're honestly better off just making a new channel with a new name. The reason for that is with my future experience, I've actually changed my name a few times on different accounts, and what I've noticed is that it's slower for me to get started. The reason for that is that your channel name, it's like takes a while for YouTube to process it and for you to actually come up back into Google and things like that, because you're still going to be under that old name because that's what you started off as. So if you put on a new name, if you change your name, it's going to be harder to find you under that new name, and you're probably still going to be able to be searched under that old name. So in turn, that's just going to slow you down a little bit because people are not going to be able to find you as quickly. Now here are your do's. Be somewhat professional. Now if you're younger than like 13, you're going to have a harder time growing your YouTube channel. The reason for that is that you probably have a high-pitched voice, and I'm not trying to offend you in any way, I'm just being straight up honest with you. Especially if you're a male, you probably have a high-pitched voice, and a lot of people don't like high-pitched voice, or they don't like super crazy, chaotic, cringy extraness. There's a difference between being hype in a video and being super extra. Even you find adults who are trying too hard and it seems as cringy because they're trying to apply to the younger audience. The majority of the audience, which is our kids will have no problem with it. Old people are usually not going to watch because they see it as cringy. You don't want to be boring. I'm not saying do some really simple, sad name. But what you don't want to do is make your channel, before people even watch a video, make it be like, oh, that's a kid's channel because of the name. Because that's not what you want. You're limiting your subscribers that way. The last do in this category is to try to relate your name to your niche. Which we're going to talk about in a few minutes here, it's going to be what your content is all about. You don't have to be literal. Some people have games at the end of their name. Some people have like YT. You don't literally have to put your niche in your name. But for example, each industry, whether you're vlogging, whether you're beauty, whether you're gaming, whatever you're doing, usually they have kind of like a similar tone with it. They have like a similar kind of feel. So at the end of the day, if you can't really come up with a name, find people who are in that industry that you want to make videos about and see what they're naming themselves. Now here are just some suggestions that I've noticed from different industries. If you're going into gaming, try to make it fun, but make it also flow off the tongue. Try to avoid any like for the win, the FTWs, or like U2 at the end of your name. And also try to say it a few times. And if you can see yourself calling yourself that and it gets more comfortable as you say it, then it's probably a good choice. When it comes to beauty or vlogging, if you look around, a lot of people have just their full name in the beauty or vlogging. And I see that it works best for people in that industry. I don't know why, but a lot of people just do that in that industry because it's more about yourself, your life, and your personal life. And a lot of people prefer that than some weird like gaming name. But in beauty, let's say you don't want to put your whole name for whatever reason that may be, or for vlogging, then put something like Kim's World or Kim's Beauty or like something like that, where it's like your first name and also you can put like a little twist on it just to make it a little bit more fun. And then there's tutorials and reviews. So a lot of people who do tutorials and reviews, they put, if that's going to be their main thing for their channel, they're going to put like whatever they're reviewing or whatever they're giving tutorials on in their name. So if you're doing like Photoshop tutorials, some people put like PSD guy, or some people when they're doing tech reviews, they put like tech something, or they put these big words so people know that this is a tech channel. And that often helps them because they're reviewing specific tech or reviewing specific things or giving tutorials about this. So also don't be afraid to be funny. Like I said, just be aware of being cringy. You don't want to be a little too extra with it, but you also don't want to be super boring and plain, especially if you're in the gaming community, because the gaming community, your IGN or your in-game name or whatever name you put yourself is going to be the name that rolls with you for a while, especially if you do YouTube for a long time. Now the next topic was to pick your niche. Now what is your niche? Your niche is basically what your channel is going to be about. So this one's very debatable as people have different opinions about it, but I think my opinion on it kind of hits almost all of the opinions that a lot of people have. You want to pick a niche that is going to help you, but also something that you're going to thoroughly enjoy. Oftentimes people pick a niche because it's not as popular, it's very uncommon, but they don't end up enjoying it and then they get demotivated and stop doing YouTube. You don't want to do that. You want to find something that you truly love, even if that means playing the most popular game. When you start picking your niche, you want to think about what you're good at and what you like. You don't have to be necessarily good at something in order to do it. That's for most cases. There's certain things, like if you're a Photoshop tutorial guide, you need to know how to do Photoshop. But when it comes to like gaming or like vlogging or something like that, where it's very subjective, you don't have to be really good at it. You just have to make it entertaining and have people want to watch you. So the big question is, do I pick a general niche or do I pick a specific niche? So I'm going to do an example. Let's say I'm like a really good Valorant player and I like to play Valorant. I'm deciding if I want to do Valorant clips and gameplay or if I want to just do gaming overall. Which one should I do? Well, let's talk about the pros and the cons of each choice. So if I want to do the pros of just playing Valorant, you'll have probably a more stable fan base, meaning almost all of your fans will be Valorant watchers, which means they'll probably watch almost every single one of your videos because all you post is Valorant. And you only have to focus on one game, so you don't have to be trying to hit different fan bases and posting multiple different videos. You only have to post one game and one type of game and you're good. Now the cons to that, it's going to be hard to diversify in the future. If you plan to just branch out some more, it's going to be hard to diversify. It also can get boring or repetitive and then hence demotivating and you stop uploading. It's also harder to grow with one specific game, especially if it's a popular game. If you're playing Fortnite or Valorant or Call of Duty, it's very hard to grow with those games, especially if that's the only content you post, because it's such a popular game and that's the only content you have. You're only looking for people who are in those fan bases rather than multiple fan bases. Now let's talk about the pros of general gaming. It shouldn't be as boring because you're going to be playing a whole bunch of different games, and it's going to probably be easier to grow because you'll be having multiple different fan bases from different games. It's also always going to be diverse, so you don't have to worry about you changing things up in the future because people already expect that for you because you're already playing different games. Now the cons with this is you're going to have a more inconsistent fan base. Your views are going to fluctuate per game because maybe you only have a handful of people who watch your Sims gameplay, but then you have a really big amount of people who watch your Call of Duty gameplay. And your Call of Duty fans don't watch your Sims, and your Sims fans don't watch your Call of Duty. So you're going to have fluctuating views because of it. Someone who does this, and I'm not trying to shade him, I actually follow him, T Martin. If you guys know T Martin, he has a second channel where he posts just a whole bunch of different games every single day. And if you look at his channel, his views literally fluctuate from like 200k to like 30k. There are certain fan bases for each game who are not watching the other games because they have no interest in it because they came for what you were playing before, whatever it was. Another con to this is you're gonna have multiple fan bases to please. So if you post Sims, your COD people are gonna be like, I don't want to watch that video, I want to watch a COD video. So now you have to go and play COD and upload a video for them so they don't get bored of your channel. So at the end of the day, what do I recommend? I recommend you pick a more general topic but with a specific emphasis, or do everything you can with a specific topic so it doesn't limit your ability to expand in the future. So I recommend you try to do a combination of both options. The ways you can do this is pick a general niche and then pick one specific game and that you're going to do the most with. You don't want to block yourself from expanding in the future. So you always want to help diversify your fan base slowly. So if you always show that you're always diverse, then people expect that from you, and they're not going to be like, well, I don't want to watch this video, whatever. You're still going to have people who are going to be like, I don't want to watch this kind of video because this doesn't interest me. That's just how it is. But the end goal is to make your fans be like, I'm going to watch this person regardless of what they upload. And if you could diversify your fan base and still make it interesting for them, then they'll start watching almost all of your videos regardless of what it is. Someone who does a really good job with this is Dashi Games. If you go to his YouTube channel and you look at all of his videos, he posts a bunch of different videos, a bunch of different games. And the reason why he's so good at it is because he's just funny. I watch his videos just for him because he is funny. But if you're not the funniest person known to man, you can still get people to watch all your videos, but you're just gonna have to be entertaining, however you think entertaining is best fit for you. Another tip or trick, I guess you can say, is you can also play similar style games. So you can play different games. If you have similar games like shooting games, like Call of Duty, Fortnite, whatever, if you pick games that are still different from each other but still in the same range, you're more likely to find people who match the same fan bases, because obviously if somebody likes a shooter game, they're probably going to like another shooter game. So once you pick your niche and you figure out how you're going to export it out, you've already done probably one of the hardest parts about making a YouTube channel. And now all you have to do is just stay consistent with it. So the next 3 things that we're going to do are going to be a breeze. They're going to be super fast because they're going to be future videos. So the first thing you want to do is to make a new email or use an older email. You need to make a new email for your channel, or at the very least use an older email that you haven't used in a long time. You want to have that email specific to your channel though, because if you're getting a sponsorship or somebody wants to send you something, anything like that, you don't want them to referring to cooldude45@gmail.com. Another thing is you want to keep it separate from your personal life, especially if you're going to go to college in the future, or you're going to go have a job or something like that. You want them separate so it's organized, but also you don't want them to conflict with each other. The fourth thing is to have social media. Social media is how people communicate, and once you start getting a following, you want to start communicating with them through Twitter or Instagram or Snapchat, whatever you want. Have at least a Twitter. A Twitter is probably one of the best social media accounts for YouTubers because you can just tweet, boom, boom. And then you can talk to people through there, through direct messages or the comments. You also want to advertise your videos on your social media, because even though right now you're a small channel, you're not getting that much hype, you never know that someone might stumble across your tweet, watch your video, and then become a fan. We're going to talk about social media and things like that in another video, but you should know that you should stay consistent. Don't just post when you have a video that's going live. Try to post, just weird random stuff or retweet things just to show that you're active, and so you can keep trying to get traction on your social media. Finally, the last one is having good graphics. You have no idea how important this is. You want to have some kind of logo, an icon with your logo in it, then a header or a banner for your channel and also for your social media. So like if you have a Twitter, you want your icon and your banner. So I'm gonna link in the description past tutorials that I have done so that you can help make your own. Or you can always find a graphic designer on Twitter or on Fiverr or whatever kind of website that there's more graphic designers to try to hire them. You can always hire somebody who can make you a logo and they can make you a banner and this whole set. Everything. Good graphics make you look more professional, and it also attracts the eye of the viewer, so they're more likely to click on your channel. In this category are also thumbnails. That's where you have to make your thumbnails look good, but again, this is all going to be in the next video. So because I love you so much, I'm going to be making 2 videos that are going to probably come out in a few days or next week or whatever, just really soon, and they're going to be specific for this series, and one of them is going to be making your own graphics with Photoshop and making your own graphics without Photoshop. So feel free to stop by in a few days to watch that video. I'm also going to leave a link in the description whenever it actually goes live. So if you're watching this like in a week from when this is posted, it probably is already posted, so I'm going to leave a link down in the description as well. Try to learn how to graphic design. It's a really nice hobby to do, and if you learn how to do it, even just the really basics, just to make your thumbnails and your channel art and all that look nice, it's going to help you in the long run as well, and maybe you gain a fun skill out of it and you enjoy it, and then you become a graphic designer like me. You never know, you might end up making it your hobby. So that is it for this video. If I helped you out and you used any of these tips, leave a comment down below. Even if you have suggestions for other people, things that you did personally, leave a comment down below as well. I love to see what you guys are doing and help spread the love to other smaller YouTubers. If you have any questions, let me know and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. There are also going to be all the links in the description to any of the videos that I mentioned here today, and also there's a playlist for this whole series that has just been started, so make sure you go and you click that in the description and you can just stay up to date with everything. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a huge thumbs up. If you're new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also make sure you put on post notifications because post notifications are awesome. And other than that, I hope you all had a wonderful, fantastic day. Make sure you stay maxed out, and peace out. Bye guys.